Hello and welcome to another art session. I thought I would just start today by just doing just some sketches for just opening practice. Maybe look up, I don't know, let's see if I can find art challenges for December. Let's see. Tinker Labs December art challenge. What's that? Ah, these are nah. Oh, this is Doodle Wash. I don't like those. I mean, they're fine. There's Beaver's hot take. Oh no, I'm already on hot takes. No, I'm kidding. They're fine. They're good for like when you're just trying to like. You literally say you have nothing that you want to draw because it's just random stuff. So, see. Digital December. Maybe. Kicking the Creatives is I like their podcast, so maybe I'll do some of those. Okay. That's an idea. Let's just do some poses now really quick to warm myself up again. And okay, here's some different designs for characters. Let's see. Yeah, I also had oh, here it is. Juke Pub Stock is a great site. I definitely recommend it if you're just looking for some like it has everything here from like clothing to just like random poses and different lighting as well. So yeah, it's really helpful. I'll do this. It's a dress. It's kind of small though. Oh, nope, it's bigger. Okay, good. Some dress physics would be nice to practice. What is this? Oh, this is that perfect thing to practice in because it was just when I was practicing it to begin with anyway. So let's see. So her gravity's there. So she's kind of got her. Hello, thanks for watching. I'll just be doing some character design tonight. I think it being the day after a holiday, it's just gonna be a quiet one, kind of just work on some characters, do maybe some concepting for the upcoming December art challenges. Look, I'm trying to think of a list. And like I said last time, maybe I'll do some Disney ones, but I have to find that list. There was supposedly a list somewhere. I'm gonna see if I can see Disney December. Is that what it's called? No, that's Disney December Art Challenge. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. Be kind of cool to make it something unique though, like for each prompt, like do a Oops. Sorry, I should turn on some music. Ooh. This one's good. Some suspense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like you missed my what I was saying earlier was I'm gonna do some art challenges for this coming month. So I'm thinking maybe of doing Disney December, but I want to do it. It'd be kind of fun to go back to the stories themselves, and like kind of like what Lavender Town does, where like it would be fun to just like look at the concepts of the stories and redraw the characters based on the folklore, like where they're from, like put them in the clothing of that nation. No problem. I'm just doing some warm-ups right now anyway, so it's no big deal. Yeah, I thought that'd be kind of cool. Just gotta find my... I just had it... Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I was just warming up with some sketches of different poses. It's funny, I had to watch it before this because last time I had my rant about like Black Cauldron, and someone just did a video like explaining that movie and how really it was like just a unfortunate like mix of ideals that kind of nearly almost erased Disney. Like they almost like in trying to hold true to their like traditional ideals of how to market their stuff, and what they want in their stories, they almost erased all of future Disney. Thankfully that didn't happen, obviously, but that became the dark ages of Disney because of Black Cauldron. And I always take a little umbrage in like people, it seems like people sometimes ascribe that to the animators, and I'm like, no, it was all like it was all choices in the writing. Well, yeah, they were on one end of it. They wanted to market to teenagers by choosing those books, but they refused to let go of the way they told their stories for kids. So it's like, guys, it can't be both. I mean, look at Don Bluth. When he wants to do dark, he does dark. When he wants to make a kids movie, it's a kids movie. Like no one would say that like A Troll in Central Park is the same thing as The Secret of Nim. Those are two very different movies for two very different audiences. I mean, to be fair, I don't think you need to be a teen to watch Nim. Although there were some pretty... You might want to have someone else in the room at least, maybe, because some of those parts were pretty dark. But that, I mean, based on today's standards, back then, kids' movies always had scary spots that made you jump. Now they're scared to do that for some reason, and I'm like, but kids like drama too. So, yeah, it was just interesting, and I'm gonna definitely look into doing some drawings based on Disney stuff. Because, like, the first few are, like, I think there's, like, Snow White is the first one. And I've already seen, like, a Neil Gaiman story where they changed that story a lot. So it'd be kind of fun to just go back and look at it and... Well, first of all, kind of draw her back to what she was... I understand why Disney drew it the way they did. They had a model that was a young adult. Like, I can't remember how old she was, because that was it's been a long time since I've seen the making of that. But, like, she was like a model and a dancer that they had posed for the, like, the action scene, like, the, scenes where, like, the characters dancing and stuff. They actually got, like, someone... I'm not sure if it was one of the artists themselves or if they got someone outside the department, because it could have been either. That was a big team even for that movie. And even though women couldn't be involved in the character design stuff, they were working on the backgrounds. I mean, you definitely check out Mary Blair's art book. She may have been doing, quote, just the backgrounds, which, by the way, a big deal. If you don't have a good background, it doesn't matter if the characters look good if the background's garbage. So I give lots of points to her, and from the interviews I saw with her, she really enjoyed it. So I definitely have to pick up that book, though. I mean, they faced obviously the same problems that everyone else did with the pay back then, but yeah, this is why I gotta loosen up, because I'm already kind of tight. Relax. But yeah, it's kind of just interesting seeing that kind of stuff and hearing them talk about, like, the history of that. I need to look up that book. There's apparently a book from this one protester during the strike where there's this one instrumental artist where he became so infamous that, like, his he became, like, one of the people that Walt felt the most betrayed by, because Walt felt like he was really helping these people, and then to have them do that, he kind of felt betrayed. But I mean, the other side of the argument, I guess, is that at the time there were a lot of other unions, and to be denied that at that time seemed a bit fishy, probably, to them. Now they would be just kicked to the curb, period. There would be no conversation. It'd be like, cool, I'll go get some college students. Bye. It's like, you can hang outside this building all you want, but there's, like, thousands of students who want this job. So, which is, fortunately, the situation with artists right now. Hello. It was great, yeah. Yeah, we just hung out. I spent some time with my family, and it was really nice, and got to just enjoy some good turkey, and had some leftovers, which I'm probably gonna have after the stream because I foolishly did not eat them before the stream. So I'm just gonna have a late dinner. I'm just doing like some well, they're supposed to be quick, but this one's kind of. Actually, I'm gonna just move to a different one. This one's taking too long. I need to do these faster. Oops. Oops. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Because I'm supposed to be. Here's a good one. This is perfect for my practicing drawing June, actually, because it's a person playing a. Well, they're playing a ukulele, which. That would be something funny if I make it so there's a part where June's guitar gets she loses it or gets taken from her, and she just MacGyvers like a ukulele out of things she finds around her or something like that, so that she can continue using music as a weapon. The other fun thing to do, maybe even outside of Disney December, is take different legends from around the world and turn them into Disney stories. Might be kind of fun. Like a what if this was done in an. Because I mean, I've seen people do like what if this anime was done by Disney or something kind of thing. And those are kind of fun. So, but it'd be kind of even more fun if it was like, what if you just take these stories that could in another, just could have been a story for Disney, but they just never got the approval for it. It'd be fun to just try and draw that. I did make some more progress on my model. I'm gonna work on that more tonight. I just wanted to have a relaxing day today, so I didn't get much work done on it today, but I will work on it tonight. Because I honestly, I found a lot of games during this. I found a couple, like, I think like 8 games during the Steam sale that were all like so ridiculously cheap that I'm like, I can't miss out on these. And then I started playing one last night, and it's good. It's just gonna take. I just didn't want to rush through it, so I took a break from it and went back to Coral Island. Back to hitting on mermaids. Speaking of Disney, there literally was a moment where I thought that the Princess of the Mermaids was literally going to do the Ariel song, and I'm like, I would, if I could control my character, I would have had him like pull out his watch, like, hey, look, I like you a lot, but I don't have time for this. Can we just go hang out or something? Like, go to the arcade or something? I don't want to hear your aspiration song. It was almost like a moment like that, like Monty Python, like with the dad coming in and being like, no singing, absolutely no singing. There was a really funny moment where you introduced their culture to caffeine, which the the like alchemist of their group. I don't like saying that she's like. I don't want to compare her to like Ursula because she's not anything like Ursula. She's more like, I'd say more like an alchemist and like a advisor kind of character. And she's drawn much more like friendly grandmother kind of look to her, or friendly like elderly woman kind of look. So yeah. I definitely recommend looking at the character designs for that. They're all really good. Which makes choosing someone so hard. Why? It's just like... To be fair, though, it also makes it so replayability is really high. Because with that was the one thing I. What are you doing? Leave me alone. Avast is trying to make me resubscribe because I only have like 25 more days to use the discount. Heaven forbid I don't use the discount, which I have 25 more days to use. Sorry, tangent, but it literally popped up right in front of my cursor, and I was just like, "Excuse me? How dare you?" I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. That reminds me, I recently someone showed me the marketing for Gladiator 2 with like the stuff they have for the theater, and those popcorn bowls will kill a person. They are like they're so huge. It's crazy. It's just like this is like I don't know what you use it for after the movie. Like, at least with like the Dune one, it was still, it could be a fun thing to just put on your wall. It's a little bigger than a thermos, and you can make jokes about it. This is like people are gonna be making jokes about you when they walk into your house if they see this on the wall. They're like, why? It's like I didn't even get a really a good like measurement of how big it is, but from the picture it's like just baffling how big it is. Like, I mean, I don't even like movie. I used to like popcorn to it a little bit, but I just very quickly when I found out that you could just sneak in your own, it's just so much better. Even like kettle corn or like even just like a bag that you just get from like a supermarket and you just throw it in the microwave and then you just sneak it in either in like a coat like me or in a bag like my sister could do because she could sneak in a lot bigger things than I could. But yeah, I don't get the wanting to have their popcorn, which costs like, even the small is probably like $12. It is. I think it's $52. No, wait, it's more than that. Let me see. I'm going to look at the price, actually. I'm curious. I think they already have the pricing for it. Because it's so... Here it is. Gladiator 2 popcorn bucket. Oh, they're selling them. That's the thing. Someone's selling one on a... You can get it at Walmart for $90. The price goes from like 50. A lot of people are selling them for 50, but that's still like, why? See, like, there's other things for Gladiator 2, like... No, wait, what's this? Is there a helmet involved in this marketing too? Yep. And yep, there's a there's a Gladiator like full like helmet with, you know, like the typical one that you can put over your drink. Or you can get the one for the smaller tubs, the generic sizes, that where the top of the helmet pops off, and that's where the popcorn is. So it's like, why? What for what purpose? like couldn't you just get a cool poster or something that you could take home with you or something, or like a small standee, or like sell like phone covers at the theater? Like that would be a better thing to pay $50 for. I'd rather buy a new cover for my phone that's from the from a certain brand that like is like the one I have, but with yeah, the Otter brand. I am not sponsored by Otter. Gosh, I wish. I'd endorse them. I've had this thing forever. I've had this phone cover since 2016, so. But yeah, like why not do that kind of stuff? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, man, you're just gonna just have this one experience in a theater that you already paid almost $20 for your ticket if you're in like a, and that's like in places near me. I mean, I know other states where it's like $30 almost in some places, or I don't even know. But that one came out pretty good. Let's do some, like a few more, and then this is a good pose too. This is like a wide stance pose with this, and all these are found on Juke Pub stock. If you want to draw along, they're it's like a group of models that are all in one place, and it's really great. Highly endorse this. Or I definitely recommend it for. I usually start with the middle. I don't know why I did the legs, but I guess it worked. It's usually, I guess it's because of the well, I still have to fix it because the angle of the body is actually more like this. Because it's kind of like a top-down almost, yeah, it's a top-down view. Oops. You have a favorite treat that you give yourself when you watch movies? Because mine is, what was the thing? I'm trying to think what I have sometimes. For the most part, if I've never seen a movie, I don't want to have anything because I want to be focusing on the movie. If I've seen it a couple times, I'll have something, and usually it's just like a small, like, quiet. I mean, maybe it'll be like probably candy, honestly. I usually like candy because it's like you make a little noise at first, but after that you don't hear anything. You're just eating the candy quietly. through the rest of the movie, or for the first 5 minutes if you're me. I think the funniest was when I used to try and like sneak in runts or oh, what's that other one? Any hard candy really, because like it sounds like you're just like carrying in a bag of gravel. Yeah, I can understand that. Like I said, usually the first few times I see something I don't, or at least the first time, and lately I so rarely go to the movies that if I do, I'm not probably going to have anything because I know I'm not going to come back for a while. So I don't want to have to get up or anything or have a stomach ache during the movie. That'll distract me. But I'm trying to think of a movie that actually had a good. I'm sure there's been ones in the past where they've had actual good marketing campaigns where like you got something cool out of it, but I'm just blanking on them now. But I think Advent Children might have had something kind of cool that they did for that. Maybe not. No, maybe not, because that was pretty. That came out at a weird time when like there was another movie in the theater at the time, and when I went with my friend and we went into that one, everyone's like, "Really? Why? There's this better movie," and I'm like, "You don't understand. We love this game. It's like we don't care. We want to hear the funny localization of like the dialogue that is even more confusing in English than it was in Japanese." Because Tifa, what are you talking about? Dilly dilly shilly shally. Don't usually draw guns, but she's holding guns, so I'm just gonna put like. I was thinking about putting someone in the comic that had guns, but they were gonna be like an alchemist, and they were just gonna be water guns, so that they're just shooting potions at people with like different like attributes on them. I thought that would be kind of fun to play around with that. Like someone has like a super soaker, but it's like full of like a potion that just like slows people down a lot or something, or like knocks them out instantly when it hits your if it gets near your face, or I don't know, like stuff like that, or like just different like alchemic elements in them. Maybe even makes you smaller or something like that too. I think that's one of the things I kind of been struggling with a little bit with making this a modern story is the gun issue. So I'm just like, I don't really want to draw people with guns, but I know that it's going to be a thing that comes up. So I can't really avoid it. There has to be someone with them. Perspective got messed up. Because My story takes place in America, so there's no excuse for not no guns. It's like, sorry. Although if that were true, then like, I mean that argument's always a little bit wavy because like England may not have any as many firearms, but they do have knives. So why would there wizards with knives? I guess because a wand's a little better than a knife, but I mean you can conceal it a little bit easier. I don't know. I guess technically the bad guys did use knives in Harry Potter, so I guess that like that's how Dobby gets taken out, but so part of me always felt kind of a little guilty in that scene because I didn't feel that bad. I never liked Dobby, so I mean I guess the books do a little bit better job of explaining him. So when that scene happened in the books, it was much more impactful. I mean, because there was a whole thing with like their freedom and everything, and yeah, there was a whole bit of lore that was left out of the movies. But yeah, this isn't coming out right. I don't like this. Messed it up. Messed it up, so gotta do a different one. These are. You know what? Let's just get to work on characters because I think I did enough of these. So yeah, I mean a lot of the characters were kind of a bit, they had to be rushed because the best thing about a book is that, and the thing that I think I didn't explain well on Wednesday when we were talking about them, is that a book you have time to, you spend time with the characters, like days or weeks depending on how fast you read. So like you develop a much more intimate like relationship with the characters versus like a movie, which is like maybe like, I mean, sometimes 3 hours, which in case I'm just like, can I want to be out of this place, please. But usually it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours, so it's kind of hard to like care as much. I do want to make some different body shapes. Everyone seems to be the same, so I kind of want to, let's go back and find some other things to do. This is kind of a cool character design. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make a character out of it, but it's kind of cool shapes in it. So like, maybe make it an elf character or like a young goblin or like half goblin character. So always have health, but you don't really see. Well, I'm sure in certain campaigns you do see how like half goblins. I think I'll just play around with some fashion and see if I come up with anything based on this. I mean, worst case, some of these could just be backgrounds. So I need plenty of those. So. Like that. Too close. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just trying to do something different. Trying to a tall, skinny person instead of making an athletic. Not everyone needs to have an athletic build. So. especially for minor characters. Like, yeah. But she's got just these interesting, like, this fashion, these, like, leg coverings, I guess? Like, I'm not sure what those are called. It's a little smaller. Maybe. It's funny. I was watching. Speaking of Lavender, I was talking about Lavender Town earlier, and speaking of her, I saw her doing this one on fan service and how it's sometimes it's used really strangely in certain things, and she gave examples of how it's used okay and how it's not sometimes, and or how it's kind of tacky. Not even like bad, it's just kind of tacky sometimes how it's used, and But yeah, it's kind of funny sometimes when you get like for like I agree that like the making the grandma look the way she does in Don is I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing, but really, it's like, Nothing would have been changed if she was just looked like a regular person. Like those jokes would have been even funnier, I think, if it had just been like, so, like her just messing with him, but just being a regular grandma who's just chasing him around, being like, "I'm gonna get you." Oh, cool. Yeah, very curious. You piqued my curiosity. Yeah, these are just character concepts for like background characters for my comic, or just exercise essentially, like thinking up different designs. I like to do these once in a while just to keep sharp. I'm just playing around with shapes for this creature's. I'm not sure what's up with these wings. They're kind of just like straight up for some reason. Don't know what made me draw them that way. Maybe I'll change them, but I might actually give it like wings, kind of more like bird wings, actually. Or no, insect wings, because those could be like like a beetle covering almost. So like, yeah, it's like it's huge. Nice. That's good to hear. As I said earlier, I've been having some fun with looking up ways to like do VTubing, like different ways that people have done creative things with their designs. I mean, I already follow a bunch of VTubers who are I mainly I mean, they're really nice people, but I also really love they really came up with like creative concepts for their characters. Like they didn't just like it's clear it was like their like second or third iteration, maybe even, where they finally were able to be like, okay, I've thought about this for a while, and now that I've had time to actually think about it, I didn't just make this an anime character. It's pretty much like the character I wanted to make, but just couldn't before, couldn't afford to before. So yeah, there's well, like oh my gosh, I'm blanking on some of their names, but like let's see if I can find. There's one specific that I'm thinking about right now, and there's like yeah, like there's someone who looks like like an early Fleischer cartoon. She's got like a very black and white style model with a very cartoony look, and all the mechanics of her character are like all the prompts like that you can use points for are things like drop a piano on her or throw a pie at her, which I'd like to do that, but with fantasy stuff. That would be pretty fun. So like maybe my viewers can cast spells at me or something like that, or like shrink my character or something, or turn him into a child. And I'll make like a kid model of my guy. Like the clothes are the same size, but he's just like it's like a big moment, but in reverse. Well, at the end, yeah, a big. Yeah, and there's other people who have done things like my model, but with like, and they've been pretty creative with what they've done too. So, or like one person was like a cartoon like talking candle character, and he did like macabre kind of art that was like cartoony but macabre, and I really like their channel. So. Like stuff like that. Just like I like it. I mean, it's like what you said. I just like when there's a reason. And I know not everyone gets that opportunity at the beginning, but it's nice when they eventually can. Because we've all had our first. Like my first model was so slapdash. It was like this has got some very like loose edges, but you should have seen the first version. The first version was even looser than this. So maybe like a bug, it has like multiple limbs too. It's like a mix of a monitor lizard and a dragonfly. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And she's like a goblin character, or half goblin, so she's got the sharp teeth, and the claws. Drawing the leash just reminded me of a funny what's his name? The guy who is it no one sec, I don't want to guess it. I think it's Eccleston, but I could be wrong. No, that's someone else. Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston, where he was walking his dog and he lost track of time, and like there's this must be an old story because it might have been when he was probably when he was doing the first season of Loki, I think, or maybe it was the recent one. I'm not sure, but like he lost track of time, and then like a cop just like he just hears a siren, and then like this cop is just like in like this like really strong accent, just like, "Hey Loki, get your dog. It's after 9. Get your dog on a leash." I just thought that's just pretty funny that they just were like, "Yeah, we know who you are." Let's just do like. Yeah, I thought that like that. I thought it was pretty funny too. Yeah, where he's just like, I haven't. Maybe with the prices of things going down, maybe I might be I might consider getting Disney Plus again if they, because for to watch more of that, because I don't think I didn't see the second season. And I don't know if are they in the third or the fourth now. So that's one of the few Disney shows I really liked. Maybe next week I'll do some redesigns too. I'm not sure. Let's see. Man, there's so much stuff. I guess this is something kind of cool. I can give it. I'm trying to think what I would make this character into, but I like her, kind of her. Well, I don't know. It's kind of a very basic shape. She just has a big jacket on, and technically this could just be June. So I'm gonna try and find something a little better because that character had a good silhouette. I want something like that, but slightly different. Like. These are all the same model, so it's kind of like you don't get different silhouettes of the same person. Let's see. Kind of cool shape for this character. She's got, I mean, she's wearing fantasy wear, but that's okay, because whatever. It's not like too over the top, so. I could even just turn it into something that's... Oh, by the way, here's what I've done so far. Since, I mean, it doesn't look like much more, I know, but trust me, I'm starting to go in on the details of the tail and like add in this gradient on the tail, and all going down the segments. They're all gonna have like a texture to them, and I want to do that for the feathers too. I want to give them like a kind of like a middle part where there's like kind of like a pattern on the feathers themselves. But I was gonna do, and I went back and redid the horns. I'm gonna clean them up, but I just didn't like how they looked. They were the same size, and I can obviously when I put them on the 3D head, I can warp and turn them so that so he can actually look straight on, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, or I can turn them so that he's looking a little bit less from a 3/4 view, like more closer to straight on. Because I've seen people do that. And I mean, he's not even really. I wouldn't. He's just barely 3/4 actually. He's closer to almost being straight on in some cases. Like his chest is like all this is this middle torso section is only like, I don't know if I would call that 3/4. Because usually when I think of 3/4, I think of like even further, like the part in the jacket would be further over, leaving like more open like that. But yeah. Anyways, that's just me saying that it'll be easier to like manipulate this character so that he's straight, so he can move around a little bit. I do like how the boots are coming out too. Like that's a nice like easy shape, and I might even like for the test run, I might not even do any, and I'll make them like two big objects. Like I'll cut off like here, and then just do like here to here, kind of like make that a whole shape. Same with this foot, here to here. So like it's, because I doubt he's gonna have you're not gonna see his legs moving for the first, I mean for a while. like maybe in later videos I might do stuff with that, but oh, that's when I was that's when I was working on a while ago that I was going to go on and work on today, but I didn't. I got distracted by mermaids. Curse them! Still haven't finished that either. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do this weekend was like go through my files and get rid of extras, because I have so many duplicates that are just eating up space. So I gotta fix that. Yeah, just like this model because she had curly hair. That's kind of cool. Not that curly, but pretty close. Just like really. think it's something to do with this character. I'm not sure because I'll show you. They're just this model's just holding a sword, so I'm trying to decide if I want to draw the sword or if I want to give her a different thing, like. Hmm. I like Magic Gauntlet better. Magic Gauntlet and put her in like a leather jacket maybe instead of leather armor, it's just a leather jacket. trying to think of something interesting to do with this. The first thought I had was like it can control like a sword or something that she just floats around her. But then I want to think. I'm thinking more into like D&D and some of the crazy later spells that you can get that are even scarier than just a companion. That's plus it's sort of such a boring thing to have hovering around you when you have like so many other things you could conjure to be your guardian. So like I'm trying to think of a fun guardian creature to or object. Let's see, like ideals for weapons or something, or maybe just saw blades. I mean, like yeah, something like that where she just has something creepy that's it's a simple shape, but it's kind of in a simple concept, but just another person that they could run into maybe, or just somebody, a henchman kind of character. I've been going get. I was watching Korra today while I was while I was gaming, and earlier when I was drawing yesterday too. There's only a few episodes I don't like. The majority of that show I really do like a lot. Like the second season, I had to ignore parts of it, but only only the villain. I like everyone but the villain in that arc because he was kind of not great. Like his kids were far more interesting than him, and I could be wrong, but doesn't Aubrey Plaza play one of the daughter? I swear that sounds like her. If it's not her, then it's someone who's doing a really good impression of her. And the things that character says, I could 100% see her saying. So I'm like, it must be her. I'm just trying to find fun things to do with the fancy races. With this, kind of. Oh, with all the Fae. Yeah, Unalak wasn't a very good villain. He was kind of meh. Compared to, like, even the third season guys, is, like, disappointed I was with how, like, I thought they were going to be a little more dimensional, and then I found out what their goals were later in the story, and it's like, oh, okay, never mind. You're almost as bad as Unalak, but not quite. You're a little bit more dimension, but you could have been even better if they had more time, and if if Nickelodeon had let them do more. Like, plan ahead. Because, yeah. And poor Mako. I kind of wonder if the way that the second season's written, if they knew that he was never going to recover. Because, like, his character just does not get any love. That poor boy. He's like, every season it's just like less and less of him, and people care less and less about him, and it's like, oh boy. It's like the minute he's not a love interest, all of a sudden he's not important, and it's like, was that really all you had for him? Or was that all that they let you have for him, really, is the better thing to say, because that's what it feels like. Because it became a little meta when, like, there's several times in the story where he's like, I'm gonna go off and be on my own because I don't really feel like I'm important to the group, and it's like, buddy, it's a little too real. It's like, also, you're the firebender in the group. You're super important. You can redirect lightning. That would have been like if Azula's friends were like, you know what, you're not really helping out much here with all this fighting. It's like, well, I mean, she would probably just kill them on the spot if they said that, but or give them like eye daggers and Yeah, I mean, he could have been a good character. They could have. I mean, it almost felt like in the third season they finally kind of found some things for him to do, like talking more about his past with like being on the street and everything, and like how he became an influence for that kid who was an airbender, like having him be like an older person, like be like someone that would, because like Bolin was really just wanted him to be like a surrogate brother, but he was just like, yeah, I know what you're trying to do here, and I'm not gonna fall for it like him. Also, I just saw that episode with their family, and that still just breaks my heart. Like that whole scene where they give her the grandmother the scarf, and I'm just like, oh god. I'm not crying, you're crying. Also, Varric is probably one of my favorite characters. Like, I think because of in Airbender, it was the main cast that was really good, and the villains were really fun. But like, it seems like in Korra, they're able to make these supporting characters that are really fun. Plus, Asami is such a fun character too. I really like that they let her have her own arc as well, and like she just get plus the expressions they give her are so much fun. Like usually when you have like the femme fatale or the character who's the like supposed to be the like attractive love interest, they don't let them have like comedic moments. But the faces she makes sometimes, especially whenever Milo's around, like when he farts on her hand and she gets that like death look, like like like, or when she found out that she was eating like food from dumpsters and she just like lets the food just fall out of her mouth and like you're just like, this is, it's really just fun when they let characters be that way. So you don't want a like stoic person, especially a teen. I would never buy that. was kind of a shame that they didn't let Asami and Korra kiss at the end, because like I think it would have been a fun like parallel between the two stories if they had done that. But I know. I mean, if it had been anything like any of the other like times that characters kissed in that show, it wouldn't have been a big deal anyway. So. Well, except for that one with the with Bolin and that movie actress, but I love that Asami's just sitting there like, any minute now, we have to go now. Everyone's in danger. Not the time for this. I'll be right back. I just need to get some water. Another thing I thought about doing throughout this month is modern versions of all the Yole ads. Would be kind of fun. Like reinterpret all their bad deeds to modern things. Like wire tangler and that'd be too old to be tailgater as one of the kids, or maybe loud, something to do with movies like loud laugher or something like that, or line holder. Oh, that person versus a grocery store that holds the spot for their friend. It's like, no, you can't do that. They wanted to do it, they would have been done. How long have we been going? An hour and a half is pretty good, but I think I'm gonna... What should we do now? Oh, yeah. That was fun. Just like not even a real character, but a character concept or something. It's kind of fun to draw her. Just like this just give her a simple design, something. Again, just the characters that would be nice in the background, kind of. She'll make this on a different layer. It's too big. But one thing I want to get, maybe trying to work on is in the city that they're going to go to, there's like these enforcer golems that walk around. So I kind of just want to make them these big, bulky things. Yeah, they should just be like clay golems, kind of almost like. They're made out of this special like earth that's like highly resistant to magic and really durable, so in case you don't use magic on them. They're essentially just like a walking suit of armor. That's just scary. I was gonna make their eyes like literal eyes, but maybe they'll be like more just like these orbs that are around them that they use as like cameras to kind of give them like 360 vision. Oh, and I've been doing some research into like creating animatics because I wanted. I'm trying. I still would like to do that intro story for my for this page where I explain like what my character's backstory is. So I'm gonna just look up and see how you do that. And And just to show how big they are, like I'll put a person next to it. This is an average person. So they're like 8 feet tall, like between 7.5 and 8 feet tall, and they can get bigger probably because they might have like extend. They might be able to like extend or. Like this is like their compact form, and then like if they're dealing with something that's like city level threat, they can get much bigger. And since they're just like a they're just bits of like Adobe clay that's like formed into this shape, they can just reform so easily. So even if you do like find like the one type of magic that they're not armored against, they could just pop right back up after that. And then you're in a world of hurt. Unless you're also a very good close combat fighter. Yeah, they almost look like a giant, like dwarf, kind of, in like their with their proportions. But and maybe that's on purpose. Maybe that was the original engineer. Like maybe like originally like dwarves like sat in this like a cockpit. But then they found a way to make it so they didn't even need to do that because too many people were getting hurt. I'm just gonna work on this and then probably. So this was fun tonight. Just a nice quiet night. I know usually I do the comic, but I figured with it being the day after, I kind of wanted a break after the holiday to just like have a day of like relax, where I could just relax and just like have some fun with some character concepts. And I've been meaning to draw this guy and something like I've been meaning to work on this concept anyway because it's coming up in the story. So I kind of want at least a rough idea of what these guys are going to look like. I like this pen. It's got a nice like toothy and like loose kind of like inky look to it. But thanks for sticking around and keeping me company. Like I said, I'll probably be doing some of that Yule ad stuff. Might be fun, maybe, or I'll probably. I mean, on a Monday, tomorrow I'll be working on my comic on my Twitch stream. So keep forgetting it's only Friday. So disorienting when I take days off. Or when I have days off in general. It's like, what day of the week is it? What's going on? What's my name? I forget everything. Like last night was so surreal where I'm just like sitting and I'm just like, normally this would be like me getting ready for a Friday, like planning for the next day or just like of work, and then I'm like, well, no, there wasn't. And honestly, I'm probably going to take a bunch of days off in December because I have to burn through some of my vacation time. So that'll be nice. I'll probably just take a couple. I'm gonna see how everything pans out, but I'm probably gonna just take a couple weeks where I do 4-day weeks or something like that. Like maybe or. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do, honestly. It's easier just to shorten the weeks than to give myself one huge week off with that month, because it's sometimes December's pretty crazy and I would feel kind of guilty just taking off too much time in a row, but wouldn't feel nearly as guilty just using my hours and getting to have shorter weeks because I earned those hours. That was some fun, just random like pseudo um, shadows, shading effect, just to like. I'll try and think of some fun colors for these guys too. Like I was trying to think what the color scheme of the city's gonna be. Because if it's elf, I mean, if they're like, if they're Fey based, it wouldn't be. Well, maybe one of the colors would be navy, kind of like with the local police. But then I imagine they would probably like have their own colors too, though. So maybe actually, it would probably, it might just be easiest to make this gold and navy be a cool mix, I think. And silver for the smaller ones that are more skin, like maybe there's more agile versions of these that are like for like for getting into houses, because or maybe just the officers. Yeah, the regular officers will wear like silver and like a purplish navy kind of mix, maybe like in that range. And they'll have some enhancements on their suits to make them like, so they essentially are wearing like a bulletproof vest at all times against magic, which is what Richard has like a military version of that sewn into his jacket. That's why he wears that huge winter coat all the time. It's because it's kind of like Inuyasha's. Oh gosh, wow, that was hello otaku. it's like Inuyasha. Sorry, but no, he had that. Remember, he had that like that red. What would you call it? What? I forgot what that's called. A specific term, but his coat, I guess, is the easiest word to just general term. I know it's got a specific term, but anyway, it was made out of this fire creature, so it was fireproof. But like for Richard, his is probably, I'll have to think of what it's proof. Probably just like it has like an impact tolerance where like it takes a lot of. He dealt with really strong people in sometimes that he had to ambush, so like they might get one or two punches in, and he didn't want that to go through him. So because elves hit really hard, like elves and troll, like in elves and other fey folk hit really hard. So he was just like, I'm just gonna make sure that I have this security this security measure in place. Yeah, I think the other cool thing about this design is it doesn't they may not be super agile, but they also don't have any weak spots really. They're just like a walking like tank. Like you think you found like a hole in the armor, and it's like, no, if there was a person in that armor, maybe that might be dangerous, but there's no one in there. So you didn't do anything. And maybe they have an illusion magic they can put over themselves when they're in residential areas, so they don't look this scary. There's no reason they would have to scare the Jesus out of the kids. Like they might have like a fun cartoony kind of like look to them when they're in kind of like in Psychopaths, or like they have like those like holograms that went over their crowd control bots. But yeah, I think I'm glad I got to work on this a little bit. It's just fun having a day of just concepting out just like stuff. Like some of those will probably be nothing, turn into nothing, but it's just fun, kind of just playing around. So thanks for hanging out, and it's funny because I'm glad he didn't listen to me yesterday, because I said I was confused, and I said, not yesterday, I mean on Wednesday, because I said that like that I was going to be streaming again on Monday, because my brain was like, it's Friday. But now I'm going to say I'll see you on this channel again next Wednesday, but I'm going to be streaming my new schedule for my other channel on Twitch is Saturdays and Mondays at 7 p.m. At least for the time being. I might push that back to 6, but I do like having sometime a window where I can eat dinner. I mean, when I remember. So, unlike today. But yeah, I'll be on there tomorrow working on the comic a little bit more, I'll try and think of some other stuff. But that's the main plan. Either that or it's going to be probably the comic and my model are the two things that I'll be working on. So, yeah. Thanks again, and I hope you all have had a nice couple days off. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, or I just hope you had a nice day in general, regardless of whether you do. And I'll see you all